for sticking with us tonight. New at 7:30, this year marks the 30th anniversary of a movie that was shot right here in the Steel City, and it's a film that still looms large in the memories of some Pittsburghers. That movie is Sudden Death, an action thriller that saw Jean-Claude Van Damme save the Vice President of the United States, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the old Civic Arena full of fans from a terrorist attack, all during Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. In tonight's On a Positive Note, DeRose takes a look back at this movie and finds out more about the film and its lasting legacy.
It's 1995, and it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the sitting U.S. Vice President, along with a packed Civic Arena full of fans, are all on hand to see who will win. There's just one problem. A group of terrorists have another game plan.
Tonight, 17,000 hockey fans have been taken hostage.
Enough bombs have been planted in this building to stop all the clocks in the hemisphere.
But only one of them knows it.
And that one fan is none other than Jean-Claude Van Damme, who plays the butt-kicking Pittsburgh Fire Marshal Darren McCord, who you may have guessed diffuses the bombs, kills the terrorists, even those masquerading as the Pittsburgh Penguins mascot, saves the vice president, the two teams, all the fans, and his two children, all over the course of a hockey game. This universal picture was developed by former Penguins owner Howard Baldwin and his wife, Karen.
We would fly in and out of Pittsburgh to see the games when we owned the team, and we would always, the flight path was right over our arena. And the arena was like a colander that could open. And I said to Howard, what about Die Hard in our arena? And I'm like, that could be kind of fun, don't you think? And so we wrote a treatment about pretty much Die Hard in the arena.
The Baldwins both have fond memories of making Sudden Death, and they say that both director Peter Hyams and Jean-Claude Van Damme jumped at the opportunity and were great to work with. But the production, they said, did have its problems. Don Keyser, the executive director of the Pittsburgh Film Office, says that one of the hurdles during filming involved the production shooting off fireworks and exploding the outdoor digital sign at the arena in the middle of the night without telling anyone.
So no one was aware we were going to have fireworks going off at 2 o'clock in the morning for a movie. And unfortunately, that woke a lot of people up and scared a lot of people, who then called 911. And so the next day, the mayor's office, that would be Mayor Tom Murphy, called my office and said, can you please let them know we're not doing this again?
But fireworks and explosions without notification may have been the least of their worries. The Baldwins were hoping to shoot a regular season game between the Blackhawks and the Penguins for the film. But the NHL was at the beginning of a 104-day lockout when filming began.
Doing the real games became problematic, but the players on the Penguins were great. And so we had an exhibition game against the Cleveland Lumberjacks who wore the Blackhawk jerseys. So we did that. We had about 11,000 people in the game. At the game, we gave it away, I believe. And then we came back and did a bunch of reshoots in February when there was a real game.
And while Penguins stars like Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr weren't in the film, two members of the Penguins organization that were legendary Penguins broadcasters Paul Staggerwald and the late great Mike Lang, who played themselves.
And he shoots and scores! Total Sandstrom and the Penguins have timed it to scratch my back with a hacksaw.
We sat down with Paul Staggerwald, who said this movie is still paying out some 30 years later.
A whopping $1.71 to this day. I got a check for $1.71. I get checks like that every now and then.
I believe they call that residual.
That's it. I'm a residual.
Staggerwald says that Sudden Death is far from a Citizen Kane or a Chinatown, but he says it's a great time capsule that captured the old Civic Arena in a really cool way. And he says it immortalized his broadcasting partner, Mike Lang, at the height of his career. Staggerwald says that Lang was masterful in the film, improvising, calling a fake game in a very real and believable way.
His sayings were universally appreciated. It wasn't just Pittsburghers, and hockey fans across the world who heard his calls loved his sayings. So he just knew what turned people on, And so for them to be in a movie that exists forever is pretty cool.
So is Sudden Death the greatest movie ever made? Probably not. But for the Baldwins and the many Pittsburghers who worked on it and who saw it, even all these years later, Sudden Death still scores big with entertainment, nostalgia, and a helicopter falling into an NHL arena, which they really did. Reporting in Pittsburgh with photojournalist Damian Catanza, Chris DeRose, KDKA-TV News.
Sudden death.
Oh man, that was a really good story. You can see these special stories every Friday night right here at 7:30, and again Saturday morning during our 10 o'clock show.